I'm back. What's up, everybody? I am back to do a quick reading or two. This morning, I don't know if you were looking at my Facebook page, but the daily guidance, which I didn't think I'd have time to do, but I did, um, inadvertently turned into like a love reading because of the amount of cups that showed up in it. So, um, it doesn't necessarily have to be a love reading, but it could be. So what I'm going to do, because I want to do something, is I'm going to do two quick clarifying readings. One for people for whom that daily guidance probably revolves around a romantic relationship, and one for whom that love reading probably revolves around some other kind of partnership, like in business or friendship or um, organizations or whatever. So I'm going to start with the Thelema Tarot and do the relationship reading. And then I'll move on to a different deck for the other one, just to kind of get an idea of what is actually going on. Um, because some of you have been asking me for love and romance type readings, and I'm all like, I'm an energy healer. I don't do love and romance. But you know what? I gotta just settle down. I gotta settle down and quit acting like that. And we're gonna do this reading, and it's gonna be good. Sorry, I'm eating chocolate, so I'm all sassy. All right. So, shuffling for more details on the daily guidance reading I did this morning for love and romance for people who are dealing with a romantic partner or potential romantic partner. How about that? All right, I'm not going to take this jumper. Oh, the King of Swords. Okay, so maybe you're dealing with like an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, or somebody who's got to make a big decision, or somebody who's very fair. Threw it back in, by the way. It might come back out. If so, then it was meant to be. Otherwise, it might just be like an extra message for someone who's watching. Okay, got it. Stop talking. Do your thing. Huh. Hmm. Okay, so those of you who are potentially dealing with a new relationship or a relationship that you are entering into, the reading this morning really talked about a time of like waiting and working on yourself and having been through a lot of introspection and a lot of transformation, and that a new partnership or new love is beginning. So, whatever that means to you, it might be like the resurgence of an existing relationship or a brand new one. So, within the context of this specific reading, we're focusing on romantic love. And the this card is damaged, but the overall energy is the Nine of Pentacles. And a lot of times this can really refer to, not only does it refer to you having gotten to a certain state of accomplishment, but it can also refer to a single person, somebody who has built up their, I guess, their empire to a certain degree, but they have not left room for a relationship. Like it's always this woman with her bird and no other people around, and she seems like she's fairly happy, but it's kind of like a gilded bird cage or something like that. That's the idea that comes across in this card. So it might be somebody like that. um, the in the position of the current energies and who you are in this, we have the Magician, which means this relationship potentially could have been completely manifested by you. Like this has been something you've been working on, which also sort of supports the Hermit having appeared in this morning's guidance. Like you've been working on this. This is not a surprise, but you've been working really hard, and you've fine-tuned your energy to the point where you have use of all the tools. Like you are very adept at your, or you're becoming, or you are very adept at working with energy, and this is the epitome of creating your own reality, which is what we're all trying to do anyway. So that's a positive thing in this case. In the past, you have Temperance, which is to me always represents like alchemy, like blending the two halves to a whole. And it also sort of represents like, I mean, I did that video on blending the masculine and feminine, um, halves of yourself. So this is kind of the same thing, or it could also be, um, obviously bringing in your other half or whatever. And also, it can be a time of waiting, having been waiting and having been working on, and also sort of magically manifesting this thing, similar to the Magician card. Um, this card really asks us, or asked because it's in the past position, us to take our time and not jump ahead, make sure that we had the recipe exactly right, and and also to have faith, because temperance is like the blending of opposites. So it seems like it's impossible. Right here, this is just water, but in some decks you'll see like the fire going into the water, which is sort of an impossible combination, um, and yet it is alchemy. It is the sort of sacred blending of opposites. So in this case, it's just the water, but it still represents balance and harmony and patience. In the present, you have the King of Pentacles, which you could be dealing with an earth sign like Taurus, or suddenly blanking on earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Duh, super easy. Or you're dealing with somebody who has finally like mastered the physical plane, like they've been working on trying to like figure out, or this could be you, by the way, trying to figure out how to become stable with money, career, um, anything that has to do with the 3D reality, the physical plane. This is somebody who has or is mastering it and is going to be reliable, maybe a little bit slow moving, but they definitely want to be that reliable, um, grounded person. They're not flighty. Um, Again, this could also be you. It doesn't matter if you're a male or female. The key to the kings is the mastery of of it. So that's a good thing to have in the present. It shows that in some sense you're ready for the next step. In the future, you have the Queen of Cups, which is excellent for a relationship reading. You could be dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Um, again, doesn't matter, male or female. With the Queen, you're really looking at being able to integrate and be aware, consciously aware of your emotions and your emotional state. Um, she's someone who is very loving, who is caring, who is motherly. Um, in the upright position, she is the positive aspect of that. It's all about emotions. It's all about the depth of emotions and the water and the psychicness and the intuition. All of those things are the Queen of Cups. So in the near future, you're really learning more to tap into that and to feel safe in that. Um, so that is really an amazing and important thing too. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. This is creation. This is creating that environment and creating that reality for yourself. And the advice is the Tower. Everybody hates getting this. I like getting it. And the reason is that, like, you don't move forward unless you're blowing your shit up. Like, unless you're knocking down walls and, breaking out of past cycles and past habits and patterns, you're not going anywhere. And for me, going somewhere is so important. Like, I don't want to be stuck. You know, this isn't my only lifetime, but you only have so many years in every lifetime, and I don't want to sit there stuck in any piece of it. So while I don't like, destruction, to me, this represents something that's um, like blows your mind, like is destroys all of the preconceived notions you might have had, and it forces you to confront all of the God, why can't use your words? Use your words, Emily. Why don't I have words today? Um, all of the limiting beliefs. This is your limiting beliefs going, like, goodbye. So to me, like, this is being the advice. That's telling me that what you need to do is look beyond the surface, and you need to bust through your own, like, I guess, fears, bust through your own um, misgivings. Like I said earlier today in the morning reading, that kind of like magical partnership does not come around that often. So break through and go for what it is that you go for the truth. Don't be stopped by fears. Don't be stopped by anybody else's ideas. Don't be stopped by anybody else's opinion. But look for the truth and go for that, whatever that might be. You got it? You got me? Okay, so that's what we have for if you're looking at a romantic relationship. Oh, I forgot. I brought out some um, oracle cards also. So let's get a Journey of Love oracle card for this particular piece of the reading. These are by Alana Fairchild, so they can be a little bit long, but um, not all of them are. Oracle card for the collective that's watching this for romantic relationships. Becoming. Okay, so I'm gonna have to read from the book for these. It's number 34. Huh. Yes, you are manifesting your divine purpose, because we just had the Magician, so manifesting. Yet what is happening now is just one of many inspired brushstrokes on the canvas of your life's work. You are the artist who paints with trust, instinctive and spontaneous, with faith in the process unfolding. You are not the painter using numbered squares who has a finished vision even before commencing the task, with a map for all the steps of the journey. Your lack of plan renders you open and receptive to divine direction. You're capable of being moved by spirit, breaking down the prescribed boundaries. God, stop interrupting yourself, Emily. You're a brave adventurer. Why, yes, I am. So celebrate what you are creating now and realize that it's a step in your major work of divine art, this life of yours not to be planned but to be experienced. Stroke after stroke, step after step, you shall witness the picture coming to life. It may not be what you expected, but it will be the most beautiful, extraordinary creation. What did I say? Something like this does not come along very often. This oracle brings you comfort that you are blossoming, and each petal unfolding is another step closer to your ultimate divine fulfillment. There is a message here too that a relationship or project that you are keen to move forward will bloom in its own unique way. You give it breathing room and be willing to let it become what it seeks to be. Even without a clear direction or plan, sometimes even because of that, there's an inner plan that can come to fruition. Okay, so there's a poem at the end of all these, and this poem is, "Take heed, my friend, for time is ticking fast. Illusion grand in hopes this dream will last. Such memories we keep for days to come, a looking glass that only shows what's done. It would be sad to think there's nothing more, a well-worn path reflecting what's in store. God's gift was not that days would be the same, each dawn's first light would sing a fresh refrain. Of light and cloud to bathe the earth's surprise, with change afoot, to stop would be unwise. A palette rich awaits the artist's brush, creating life at one with God's soft touch." All right, so that was an alignment. Interesting. It always is interesting when it's not a load of crap. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I've been doing this long enough to know that it will always be in alignment, but it still is amazing. Okay, so the next reading will be for people who are dealing more with a business partnership or maybe some other kind of strategic partnership. And we're going to use the Tattoo Tarot for that. And I love this deck. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I just need a minute to shuffle. So this reading will clarify this morning's guidance for those who are in a business partnership or friendship or essentially non-romantic partnership. Come on. Also, I think I just flipped a bunch of these upside down. I rarely read reversals, so just know that. If they come out reversed, I'll probably flip them right side up. Why? Because I feel like there are enough cards in this deck that any of those negative things can be illustrated through other cards. And also because it's so easy to just like, I mean, it just, to me, it doesn't make a ton of sense. But to each his own. All right. So the overall energy right now is, for those of you in business partnerships or friendships or whatever, is a really good feeling of security. We have the Ten of Cups here, which is traditionally like happy family, happy home, emotional fulfillment, etc. So however that applies to you, and in a lot of cases that can be like a really prosperous partnership or best friends or a new friend who you feel like you have known forever, and even though you've only known them a short time, um, you're, I literally had to just count out this Roman numeral and it's only the number 7. I swear I cannot. Your energy right now is the 7 of Cups. And so that can really, that can mean that you're in a little bit of a state of confusion. There are a lot of choices available to you, and it's almost a seductive kind of choice. Like you have to decide which way to go with your decision. So there are a lot of some of the choices are good and some are not so good, but they're all there available to you. So it's really not a bad position to be in. It just means that you need to stabilize and ground yourself. You're coming out of the position of having just walked away from something. It doesn't mean that you walked away forever, but you may have left a job. Um, especially like if you're looking at a lot of different choices, you might have kind of mentally walked away from the job that you're in, so that you can start to um, look at these other options. It's like you have to give yourself permission to be able to look at what's available to you by mentally walking away. In So that's in the past. Now, in the present, it's like this is the star. You've got a lot of positive, focused attention. You've got a lot of hope. And I would say the only hang up about this card is you can see that like she's just really focused way up here. And it's like, this is the dream. This is like the thing that seems really far away. It's not necessarily far away. Like you have all these choices, um, you've got it all available to you. So you just need to make that choice. And once you make that choice, then you can start moving forward toward this star. And in the future, you have the Judgment card. And the Judgment seems kind of scary. Like, who wants like the final judgment? Who wants Armageddon? Like nobody. But the thing about Judgment is like you're really you're really in it. Like you're becoming who you're meant to be when you're in Judgment. Um, you're losing all of those unnecessary things that are holding you back, and um, you may have this partnership now that can help you work through like the messy pieces. Like for instance, when you're one of my businesses right now is undergoing a sort of a um, not really a reconstruction, but a consulting process where because we grew so fast, we need to reorganize certain things. And it feels like Judgment, where you're forced to face all the things that didn't like develop properly. But with your team and with proper guidance, it actually brings you to a much stronger place. And so that's your big Ace of Cups that showed up in the morning reading. So whoever this reading is about, whoever came to mind when we started talking about it, is somebody who can bring you through that and can help you to that place of balancing the scales and of clearing the karma, so to speak, um, taking you to the place where the, uh, what am I trying to say? Like, like there's a reset, like you can reset because of all the work that you're doing now. And it's almost like being able to start over in a much better position. Your advice is the High Priestess, and that really speaks to following your intuition, following your highest guidance, and knowing that um, sometimes important information is below the surface. Like you might not It might not be immediately obvious to you, but if something comes to mind, don't disregard it. It might be important for um, it might be that important thing that helps you to get the edge, or get a leg up because you listen to your guidance. And this is like a complicated, um, what's the word I'm looking for? You're getting information that's not necessarily obvious, and so therefore you have an advantage. Does that make sense? So listen to your guidance, and that's going to bring you to your Ace of Cups, your new beginning, um, your way through judgment. All right. I hope this made sense to you. I kind of like, oh, I was going to do an oracle card for you also. This is going to be the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, if I can get the box open. Okay, give me a card for those in business partnerships or friendships or non-romantic partnerships. Happy, happy. Whew, number 26. Okay, essential meanings: joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. Sense of fulfillment. Your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now, just like the Ace of Cups. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy moment to moment, for you've chosen happiness over yearning for it. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside of yourself. Your happiness is the result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for now. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. There are a bunch of different messages. There's a relationship message, there's a prosperity message, a protection message. I'm going to read the prosperity message because it kind of resonates with what this reading was supposed to be for. This is a time to take pride in your accomplishments. You're doing good work, providing exceptional service, and are well compensated for it. The world rains gratitude upon you, and you're happy with the results of your efforts and creativity. Isn't it amazing to consider all that you've done? Remember your partnership with Spirit in this moment too. Your soul has always known you could accomplish anything if it brought you joy. I'm going to read the relationship message anyway, because we're still talking about friendships and any other kind of relationship, so it might be legitimate. There are moments in a relationship when you just feel good about whom you're with and know that your heart is wide open to befriend, to love, and to care for another without wanting anything in return. This is the kind of happy that you just want to share. The appearance of this card in this reading tells you that joy and contentment are here now, not somewhere else or off in the future. The grass is greenest right where you stand. Be grateful and delight in your relationship, and if you're seeking one, be happy now. Happiness attracts more of itself, like bees to honey. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much. If you listened to the end, you're a trooper. And all the links to order your own reading or energy healing session are in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment, any of those things. Okay, thanks guys. I always love seeing you. Bye.